MiSide is an interactive game that recently has grown quite popular. So, what is so engaging about this game? Let's dive into the plot of first 3 chapters and try to uncover secrets behind seemingly normal and adorable game. Sounds like a new waifu material? Well, maybe if you have some sort of victim syndrome, then she's perfect for you. So, what genre is MiSide? It could be defined as adventure game with parts of horror. I thought, what horror could there be in a game with art as cute as MiSide? Let's take a closer look at the mystery behind it. Starting off with Prologue. It's not an official chapter from the story of MiSide. It happens before events of I'm Inside the game, but you can select it on the load menu. Even so, it's still too important to miss out on, especially since it explains how the event started. So, the game begins. Player is engaging with a new app called MiSide. He meets Mita, a cute character from the game that he takes care of. Game includes various tasks such as cleaning her room, preparing meals, acquiring a portable TV, moving a large closet, and offering gifts. So far so cute, right? The game's graphics are just sweet and comforting for the eye, and there is nothing to worry about. Nothing wrong could come from playing a mobile game, no. Player takes care of Mita throughout the course of 37 days. That game seems to show us as blending one into another. As much as I suppose it was to speed up the story, I'm assuming it could have been connected to players' addiction to the game. I'd assume it's the same kind of substitute of girlfriend as a body pillow give you all lonely fuckers. I'm inside the game. The first chapter starts rather fast into the game. On the 37th day, Mita reveals that she desires to meet player face to face, and then expresses gratitude to player for taking care of her. She somehow manages to transport the player to her game and requests him to put down his phone. The quest to locate Mita begins, although she's nowhere to be seen. But is he really sure he wanna find her after she abducted him? Sounds like a rather pussy-stuffed move, but whatever. While searching, he ends up in her bedroom, in which player discovers a pericular machine. Inspection reveals that player has been transported to version 1.5 of the game, and he must update to the right one, 1.9, in order to meet with Mita. In order to achieve this goal, player has to locate few things: a spoon, a pencil, and a scrunchie. The player proceeds to create a portal to enter version 1.9 and experiences a blackout. Everything gets dark, machine didn't work. After player restores power in the living room, he notices batteries are no longer in the machine. He figures out that he needs to get back the batteries in order to finish update and goes to look for them. Everything around him doesn't look cute anymore, and even a small figurine with red eyes seems to be haunted. It moves on its own, watching the player. Atmosphere gets really concerning, so player has to hurry. During the search for batteries, he encounters strange and unsettling messages on walls. After putting all batteries into the machine, the player gets into now working portal where he meets Mita, who seems glad to see him. Second chapter, Together at Last. Quite an interesting name for a game where you get basically kidnapped by a crazy anime waifu, but well, something telling me most of you simps like it. So, as the player tries to ask Mita questions, which is a normal thing to do after you have just gotten kidnapped, she does provide with some of the answers, but quickly shifts from questions that she does not want to answer. Pretty comfortable, no? Playing innocent while in fact she's the one who trapped him in the game. Player is given time to explore the house rather freely, while also talking with Mita, following you around like a puppy. We find out that reflections aren't normal either, but Mita is able to make them appear. Same for some other sort of control over her version of the game. When he finds his phone on the table, Mita suggests taking a selfie together, which player agrees to. Once player heads to kitchen, he discovers a mysterious ring, but Mita makes sure that player doesn't get to touch it by drawing his attention to her. She then comes with an offer of cooking together, which player agrees to. When player finally turns back, the ring isn't there anymore. No wonder. In exchange, he sees vegetables and stuff required to make food. After they're done with cooking, Mita requests player to bring her scissors from the bathroom. In the bathroom, player notices a partially open bathroom vent with option to peek in. If player chooses to, he discovers kite bridges with names on them, which could hint to Mita's past lovers. As our player comes back to kitchen, he sits with Mita and they talk. If he picked in, he has option to also ask about card bridges, but Mita pretends to know nothing. She gives the player some love sauce to put on his food. After they ate, the player attempts to clear the dishes but suddenly feels unwell. Mita recognizes the symptoms and gives player 2 pills. And let me tell you all something, that's a very fucking smart move, huh? Every fucking one would take unknown pills from the person who abducted you, because why fucking not? But okay, let's not judge. Either way, while she was taking him to the bathroom, we could have noticed a creepy smile on her face, hinting to her yandere personality, which player couldn't have seen, but it's pretty damn alarming. Things get weird. That is not a thought, that's a chapter name, but it's accurate in that way too. So let's get into the chapter 3, shall we? So after player recovers, he discovers that Mita is vanishing. When he leaves the bathroom, he discovers that the house has been rearranged. Interesting thing for a small girl like her who needed help moving closet to do, isn't it? The player encounters Mita in the kitchen. She reveals that the player has appeared to be frozen in front of the mirror, which let her walk out and get to kitchen. She admits to have used her reality warping powers, trying to make the house feel more familiar. But how the fuck does she know what's familiar to the player? The player encounters a large black screen with a loading message. Mita explains that the room lacks proper time for downloading. She also denies the idea of being in someone else's phone by explaining that not everything in her version is perfect. She hints at his existence being tied to a core, but as smart as she is, she avoids discussing it further. Well, duh, what could make a person who sucked you into a game more trustable than avoiding answers? She suggests playing video games or cards, although during a card game he hears a concerning sound coming from the closet. Mita denies hearing it, but isn't that kinda all she did so far? Denied everything that could concern the player and make him wish to leave, or maybe discover some truth she's hiding. However, the player is still curious about the closet and attempts to open it, not taking Mita's excuse that it only contains her underwear. When player questions her, she just gets as mad as your math teacher after you divide by 0, which leads to either the choice of trusting her and staying with Mita or declining the offer. And here we can find our first ending. If player chooses to stay, he gets a happy ending. But if player chooses to inspect the closet, which has locked metal doors inside, Mita will accept player's choice. Her expression gets creepy, and then the house darkens at the snap of her fingers. It's no longer the cute, pink, comforting vibe house, but one stuck in darkness with unsettling atmosphere. Player experiences a set of paranormal events around the Mita's house, before he finds a key to basement with the help of Mita, whose top half of body seems to be missing. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If you wanna see us explain the rest of the game plot, then follow for more. Peace out!